Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life, Real Crime Daily. In Tennessee, a mother is caught trying to hire a hitman to kill a witness in her son's murder. A Michigan teen is convicted of killing her father with drain cleaner, and an employee of Circle K sues the company over wrongful termination involving a cigarette theft. These stories and much more coming at you today. I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
What's up, fellas?
Happy Thursday.
Right?
Happy Thursday.
You know, they don't have a hump day is on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I don't know what a Thursday would be.
Either. You got Taco Tuesdays.
Recover from being humped?
Thirsty Thursday. Isn't it Thirsty Thursday?
Yeah, it is Thirsty Thursday. That's right.
It's thirsty every day for Woody Overton.
Especially on Thursday.
Thursday is the worst traffic day of the week in almost every city in the United States.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, when you think about it, it's so a lot of people escape early on Fridays or take 3-day weekends and work from home on a Friday, whatever. Yeah. And so Thursday becomes sort of the day you have to show you're serious about work and show up because you're about to blow it off on Friday.
Right.
And so, so Thursdays, living in LA on Thursday afternoons, forget it. I mean, take you 2 hours to go 20 miles.
Living in LA on Thursday afternoons for me, LA being Louisiana, I'm usually taking the back roads to get to the country place.
You do take the back roads.
Yeah.
The back roads.
Back roads.
Well, let's get into some crime, guys.
Crime time. Let's do it.
A 27-year-old. I feel like I got to sneeze. Okay, sorry.
We don't boom sneezes.
A 27-year-old woman who served time in prison abroad pled guilty in federal court Friday to conspiring to kill her mother while on vacation several years ago. Heather Mack entered a plea for conspiracy to kill a U.S. national and faces up to 28 years in prison in connection with the murder of her mother, Sheila von Weiss. In October of 2014, y'all, way back then, Mack and von Weiss traveled to Bali together for vacation.
Back to Bali.
Mack used her mother's credit card to pay for her boyfriend, Tommy Schaefer, to fly to Indonesia to help her kill von Weiss. On August 12th of 2014, Schaefer went into von Weiss's hotel room, beat her to death in front of Mack. Then they stuffed her body in a suitcase and left it in a taxi cab. True freaking story.
Right.
Mack and Schaefer went to trial in Indonesia, and they were convicted of charges related to von Weiss's death. Mack was sentenced to 10 years in prison. She served 7. Schaefer, however, is still incarcerated while serving an 18-year sentence.
Special K prison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't Indonesia, though, was it?
I thought it was.
I don't know.
It's my bad, guy.
In November of 2021, Mack returned to the United States and was subsequently arrested on charges of conspiracy to kill in a foreign country, conspiracy to commit foreign murder of a U.S. national, and obstruction. She could have faced life in prison for the first 2 charges if she went to trial and was convicted. Schaefer faces the same charges out of the Northern District of Illinois and will be sentenced in December. That is insane. And then what I didn't realize, so she served this sentence already in another country. Had she not come to the United States, and so I didn't even realize
Did she? I don't think she did she?
Probably not. Yeah. I don't think she would have come here if she did.
Because I think they got her right when she got off the plane.
Yeah, they were waiting on her.
They might have actually had put a detainer on her, right? If they were going to charge her, the feds are going to charge her. They're not going to just let her walk out of the Bali prison. I'm sure U.S. Marshals escorted her back, but I'm not. Yeah.
I read the story too. It seemed like
she flew here, just like on Delta.
It may involve the girl. It may involve, because I don't know where the little girl was at that point.
Yeah, the guy is still in prison. He's
right, but the daughter that she had in prison, she had a baby while she was in prison.
Yeah,
and so the baby might have been in the U.S. at that point because there were custody battles over who was gonna have the baby.
Wow.
She also claim that this was not a planned thing, that he killed her, that she, that she was not intending to kill her. Actually, the story is, for whatever reason, somewhat sympathetic toward her for whatever reason. So I don't know. Maybe it was a nice suitcase.
Yeah, maybe killer. I guess they thought they were going to get prosecuted.
Pretty
in Indonesia, right?
Pretty major national story right now as well. So.
Yeah. Well, this past weekend being Father's Day, and I was blessed. I'm still blessed enough to have my father with me, and I got to bring him up to Mississippi to her favorite place to eat and all that. And he and I have had our disagreements over the years, as all fathers and sons do. But this one, I never had this kind of disagreement. So a Michigan teenager was convicted last Thursday of throwing drain cleaner on her father as he napped after he broke a promise to take her to a hair salon for her 18th birthday.
Jesus.
There you go. So, and I know I'm going to have Mike jump on me on this name, but here it goes. Megan Joyce Emowicz, 19, was found, I'm going to call her henceforth Megan Joyce I. She's 19 years old, was found guilty of unlawful use of irritants causing death of the 64-year-old Conrad I and of misdemeanor domestic violence.
Conrad I.
Her father, who struggled with alcoholism, was too drunk to drive her to the appointment. The enraged teenager threw lye powder and water on him as he slept on their sofa. The defendant, who broke into tears upon hearing the verdict, faces up to life in prison and will be sentenced on July 25th. The 4-day trial included harrowing testimony from the defendant's brother, Austin I., and her mother, Joyce Conrad. Now, Joyce Conrad had a different name. But
why couldn't they all be Conrads?
Right? The son said his father, who was hospitalized for months in intensive care, underwent numerous skin grafts and endured infections that led to the amputation of both his legs.
It's been some serious.
In March of 2022, he left. Well, when lye is activated water, it's like acid.
Dang.
In March of 2022, he left the hospital determined to die at home, and 3 days later, he took his last breath. The son had also testified about the night his father was rushed to the hospital. He said that not long after his father was admitted, his sister called him demanding the PIN number to their dad's ATM card. Now, he's in the hospital. She wanted to pay for the hotel room where she and her friends were celebrating her 18th birthday that night. She did not ask about her dad's condition. Enraged, Austin and I said he hung up on her, and he said, I was angry to show no care at all, to dismiss something so serious, he recalled on the stand. In an interview with police, Megan and I claimed that she had thrown a bag of bread at her father and possibly water, which were near some cleaning supplies. Yeah, right. And just horrible story. Horrible way to go.
I don't know it's crazy. This teen, was there a picture, Woody, with that?
I saw one. She's pretty scary looking, but
young girl though.
Yeah.
I mean,
and where wouldn't he take it? It was to get a haircut?
To get a hair done for her 18th birthday.
Wow.
Dude sleeping on the couch. And you don't ever want, I don't know how they had raw lye in the house. I mean, I get it for clean or whatever, but you put that with water, it's a bad business.
Yeah, and it's like, that's torture. That's not even
horrible.
like,
they can't even stop it.
At least with a bullet, it's quick.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's like white phosphorus. It will continue to burn and eat until it's covered. So they have to cover it with like a paste material just to get to stop the air from interacting with it. But lost both of his legs and ended up dying. Basically, she killed him that entire period of time. Losing legs, and he still ended up dying.
I'm guessing they didn't have a great relationship prior to that day.
Well, I hope she had a hell of a 18th birthday, because her 19th will be spent in prison.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to Colorado. I've been to Colorado in a while.
Many times.
Oh, by the way, I think that prison was in Bangkok. It was Thailand.
Oh, was it Thailand? I get them confused. Two places. Both places.
We should
I'm not going.
send that girl from your last story on a special trip to that prison in Thailand.
Yeah.
Not many rules
Get to go
in
by
Thailand.
myself. Yeah.
Colorado, a lot like Thailand, Colorado Circle K employee is suing the company after she was fired for putting her hands on an armed thief that snatched a pack of cigarettes from behind the counter. Now, listen to this story. I think we're going to get into a healthy debate here over this.
No debate.
Maybe not.
No debate.
Mary Ann Moreno, who was 75 years old, claims in her lawsuit against Circle K stores 75 that she was wrongfully terminated from the Westminster store that she had worked at for 18 years.
They terminated them on a pair of retirement.
18 years for her brief interaction with this criminal. First of all, anyone who works in a Circle K for 18 years, I mean, deserves a fucking statue.
I agree.
Instead,
she gets a pink slip.
And at 75 years old, holy shit.
Quote, I really did not think I would get fired for something like that. Maybe if I had chased him out of the store, or argued with him or tried to fight him, she said. On October 4th of 2020, Moreno was behind the counter when Tyler Wimmer walked into the C-store brandishing a knife. It's not clear in the surveillance footage whether or not he ever threatened Moreno with the knife, but Wilmer did ask if she would give him a pack of cigarettes for free. Moreno declined, telling him she would get fired if she did. Wilmer then started to walk toward the door, but suddenly turned around and walked right past Moreno to the display with all the cigarettes, grabbed a pack of cigarettes from that display. This is all captured on the in-store video. And then he just turns around and goes to walk by Moreno. As he's walking by Moreno, she grabs his arm briefly, attempting to stop him, but then backs off, and backs off immediately, as you can see in the footage. Quote, I freaked out, and I just went like that, she said, motioning like she's pushing Wilmer away from her. Well, supposedly, I guess I grabbed his arm. I don't remember that, but I pushed him, and that's when he ran out. Wilmer can be seen on camera walking around the outside of the store after he left. Moreno said she immediately called her manager and called 911. Another customer who was in the store at the time, a guy by the name of Larry Wagner, had already called the police after seeing Wilmer with the knife. He suspected that Wilmer may have been on drugs based upon his demeanor.
Yeah, you think?
Quote, he was scary. I wish I would have stayed in the store for Mary's sake, but I didn't. I was like, I need to go call 911, Wagner said. Moreno never received a termination letter from Circle K, but she was told after the incident that she had been fired for violating the company's, quote, don't chase or confront policy regarding shoplifters and robbers. The sudden firing left Moreno incredulous. Moreno's attorney, Iris Halpern is her name, said the footage clearly shows that Moreno actually acted naturally in self-defense. Halpern said that firing Moreno for an interaction in which she made no real effort to stop or chase Wimmer is wrong. Companies have not sufficiently thought through the nuance in these situations, and any normal person is going to respond by pushing an attacker away from them, Halpern said. Wagner, who was shocked to learn that Moreno had been fired, said the company made the, quote, wrong decision. I think they need to reevaluate their policy if you care about your employees, he said. 2 weeks ago, we had to edit out some of a segment on the show where we were discussing a case that involved Lululemon clerks who had chased after a thief and were then terminated. Let's see if we get through this discussion on this one. What do you boys think?
I think absolutely on this one, that was just a natural reaction, and she didn't chase him out of the store. I mean, so the cigarettes are behind the counter, so he had to literally come into her space, grab the stuff, and I'm sure she, like she said, or they said on the video, she grabbed him for a second and she let go. I mean, she freaked out, fight, flight, or freeze reaction, whatever. It's not like she chased him down the street over a pack of cigarettes or anything like that. I believe they are totally wrong for firing. The policy's there for a reason, but that's bullshit.
I would agree that with Woody actually on that. However, I will throw in the caveat that, just playing devil's advocate, if it were a situation where she did attempt to chase him in any way or stop him in any way, and they had a written policy at that in place, which likely they get all of their employees upon being hired to sign. She wouldn't have a leg to stand on as far as a wrongful termination. However, in this case, I haven't seen the video, so it could be just a natural reaction that she had. In that case, I do not feel she deserved to be fired.
It's not like she tried to tackle him, right?
Right. Well, and this is it's a very different scenario on a lot of levels. I think we're all in agreement here that, and especially somebody who's, you give 18 years of your life to Circle K.
Minimum wage.
Give me a break. But this was also a store that wasn't in a position where it was constantly being robbed over and over again, and no one was doing anything to support the employees, like hire a security guard or something like that. Which I think if we all revisited the Lululemon's situation, there was a solution right in front of the company's eyes that the company should have gone for, which was to put full-time security into that location that had been robbed 12 times.
I agree.
And that would have prevented those employees from putting themselves in danger and chasing after that guy. And that would have been a much better solution. But in this particular case, when you look at the video, she makes an instinctive move toward him, but doesn't really do much of anything. She didn't follow up after it. She's there for 18 years, Circle K. And
I hope she gets a big fat check.
Yeah, I hope she does. And Carlisle, I hope you have. I hope you've sold your ownership of Circle K, and somebody else would be paying that bill.
Crazy.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Let's go to Mike's second home in Tennessee. Vanderbilt graduate, Nashville.
I did live there for a little while.
Yes, you did.
Aga was born there.
The
Well,
Aga.
it's not born. No, the Ago was born. No, the Ago was born in high school.
Oh, was it?
Ago
It was before
Ago
college. I'll be
came
darned.
high school all the way through college.
Well, a 42-year-old woman is in custody after she allegedly tried to hire someone to kill a person who witnessed her 17-year-old son's slaying. Yep, I had to read that 3 times too.
And she didn't use rentahitman.com?
No. But the fact that she wanted to hire someone to kill a person who was a witness to her 17-year-old son's slaying was what got me.
Right. Those you.
So on June 12th and 13th, investigators spoke with an informant who told officials that Ashley Brown tried to hire them to kill a witness in the November 22 murder of her son, Gavin Brown. On Friday, November 4th of 2022, Sheriff's Office investigators found Gavin Brown deceased on a road in Bluntville, Tennessee. You familiar with Bluntville, Mike?
No.
Okay, me neither. I hadn't heard of that, and I've been all over Tennessee. But Corey Barnett and Mason Dubois, 21, were charged in connection with the case, and they were booked into jail. Barnett was charged with first-degree murder and aggravated robbery, while Dubois was charged with especially aggravated robbery. I didn't even know that was a charge.
Right.
That's.
Like
Are you familiar with
I
that?
think that's just an adjective.
It's like I strenuously object. Okay. You
Yeah.
still object, right?
An accessory after the fact, the victim's mother, Ashley Brown, allegedly met with the informant who posed as a hitman and instructed them to kill the witness and stage it as a suicide. Brown reportedly said she did not want to be tied to the murder, nor did she want to go to jail. The informant told officials Brown had the witness' work schedule, workplace, and car information. Brown said she would have to leave town if she killed the witness herself. Brown was worried that she would seem guilty and assured the informant that since they had no ties to her son's murder, they would have nothing to worry about. So the sheriff's office arrested Brown on a charge of soliciting first-degree murder, and she was booked into the Sullivan County Jail with a $500,000 bond.
And
So,
photograph.
yeah, and you know it's
Strange story.
very strange story, and it seems like we're covering a lot these days of these people trying to hire
Somebody.
hitmen.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's on hitman.com or whether it's in person.
No.
I mean, we've covered a lot of these where they're meeting with hitmen or supposed hitmen.
That's crazy.
Somebody needs to open a more respectable hitman business.
I'm telling you.
You know, if they were. By the way, Bluntville is near Johnson City, so it's
I know where Johnson City is.
Smoky Mountain Appalachians sort of coming together there.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Another thing we seem to be covering, or we've talked about in numerous stories about people dying from these, what do you want to call cosmetic surgeries, right? But check this one out. A Colorado plastic surgeon was found guilty Wednesday of attempted reckless manslaughter in connection with the death of his teenage patient. Jeffrey Kim was also found guilty of obstruction of telephone service for failing to call 911 for 5 hours after 18-year-old Emmeline Nguyen, right? I know it's
Win. It's Win.
Nguyen.
It's actually said Win.
So Emmeline Nguyen went into cardiac arrest. He was acquitted of the more serious charge of negligent homicide. The verdict is vindication for the family. Nguyen family attorney David Woodruff said, "It is finally justice. He had the opportunity to get her emergency medical help, and he stopped his entire staff from doing that." He said, "I think it is a reminder to the medical community that they are not above the law." She was a wonderful girl and had her whole life ahead of her, and to die so senselessly like this has been a real tragedy. Nguyen, then 18, was receiving anesthesia before breast augmentation surgery at Colorado Aesthetic and Plastic Surgery when she fell into a coma. She never regained consciousness and died in the hospital in October 2020 at the age of 19. According to prosecutors, several medical staffers, including 2 nurses, asked permission to call 911, but Kim, the doctor, refused. Rex Meeker, a nurse anesthesiologist who administered the anesthesia, testified in court that he told Dr. Kim, "We should send her to the hospital. It's standard operating procedure." Meeker was originally charged in connection with her death, but prosecutors dropped the charges. Dr. Kim's defense attorneys argued that Meeker was to blame and that it was the anesthesia he gave her that killed her. Meeker did end up surrendering his license, but was not charged with the crime. So we understand the medical procedures don't always go as planned, but this defendant showed a shocking and extreme lack of judgment and humanity by failing to call for an ambulance and denying his patient appropriate treatment in a hospital setting. That's what the chief district attorney said. Patients put their trust in doctors, and the outcome might have been different had the defendant sought appropriate medical care. The defendant made decisions based on what was best for his business and not his patient. And they settled a lawsuit. Both Dr. Kim and the anesthesiologist Meeker settled a wrongful death suit with Nguyen's family. Both of them paid $1 million each. And Dr. Kim is facing 3 years in prison.
Wow.
How stupid is that?
What did he think was going to happen? I don't understand.
I mean, like he was embarrassed, I guess, because his patient had cardiac arrest. And I mean, why wouldn't you call?
Well, but right. So your staff is there with you, and so I mean,
I'm sure
they think she was just going to come out of it.
I'm sure they were working on her, and they were like, "No, let's call 911." Right? We are titty doctors. We're not heart doctors. Right? Seriously,
it's not officially a titty doctor.
Well, I mean,
but
whatever it is. But the sad thing is that girl.
That would
died.
actually be a great thing on a diploma.
But
Doctor
the sad thing is the girl died.
Official doctor of titties.
They may have not been able to save her, but the ER is better equipped for somebody in cardiac arrest.
No, you're right. They were scrambling
doctor.
to try and save her themselves because he's worried about lawsuits
Same
and his
thing.
license and everything else.
Well, in his business. I mean, you know,
I'm not.
you don't want that reputation.
Now he's got to go to Mexico and do them because he can't do them in Colorado anymore, right? Another Colorado story. So crazy.
All of a sudden, a lot of Colorado today.
Well, and if you think about it, in the medical field, I mean, reputation is everything with doctors.
Right.
Everything.
You guys are going to like this one. We go back to where I was born, back to my hometown. We're very close to it. A self-subscribed, quote, lottery lawyer who stole $107 million in prize money from jackpot winners and used the loot on luxury vacations, yachts, and a Porsche, was just sentenced to 13 years in prison for the scheme.
13 years for $107 million.
The scheme is great, though. Listen to this.
That's a good trade.
Jason Kurland, age 49, was convicted by a jury of tricking lucky lottery-winning clients into handing over their money for investments, but instead putting the cash into risky businesses he secretly co-owned and into shady investments pushed by reputed Genovese crime family soldier Christopher Chirchicho. They were lucky winners, but when they met Mr. Kurland, they ended up losers, Brooklyn federal judge Nicholas Garofis said before handing down the hefty sentence. Garofis said Kurland's goal was to, quote, cash in on the success of his clients. Kurland, who was a partner at a Long Island law firm, earning roughly $500,000 a year, targeted jackpot-winning clients starting in 2018. Among his victims was a $1.5 billion Mega Millions winner, a $245 million Powerball winner, and a $150 million jackpot winner. These newly wealthy clients paid Curlin hundreds of thousands of dollars to advise them on how to invest their earnings safely. Mr. Curlin had direct access to the money, and like a burglar, he used the access he had to pocket the money for himself and his business partners, according to the judge. The Dix Hills lawyer, my cousin lives in Dix Hills, and I grew up about 10 minutes from there. The Dix Hills lawyer received kickbacks for steering the money into businesses he co-owned with Francis Smookler, obviously not a made man, and a guy by the name of Francesco Russo, all while hiding from his clients his links to those businesses. The abuse of trust would be unfathomable in any profession, but it's grotesque and unfathomable for a lawyer, Garofis said. Curlin was convicted last year of stealing $107 million from lottery-winning clients. A remorseful Curlin broke down in tears when reading a statement to the judge saying he was, quote, ashamed and embarrassed. Curlin, Smookler, and Russo invested winners' money in high-risk deals that turned out to be a Ponzi scheme, losing $40 million in just over a year. In April of 2020, they turned to Chirchiccio, 54, who promised to help them win all the money back with investments into personal protective equipment pandemic deals. So they lost a ton. Then they turned to my Italian friend after they had lost all that money, looking for $40 million.
You better stop throwing out who's made and not made, because I know they listen to Real Life Real Crime Daily, and then you don't have to use runahitman.com.
No, I'm not saying whether they are made or not. I'm saying that they could be made. If you are not Italian, you cannot be made.
I understand that, but you're calling them out, and that's unnecessary.
That's right.
They might put a hit on you. You're going up there soon.
Okay, my apologies. I will
because I love you, man. I don't want to see.
I will take this up with the proper authorities.
Send Billy Amy with him.
Okay, so the you guys threw me off a little bit, but barely any of those funds actually went toward PPE deals, and instead, Chirchiccio and the trio skimmed millions off the top. Prosecutors argued. Curlin then stole $19.5 million from one client's account for the Chirchiccio deal. The defendants used the pilfered money to live large, taking expensive vacations, jaunts on private jets, buying 2 yachts, and a Porsche. One of the winners invested $5 million, not knowing that Curlin was a co-owner of the business. So he invested $5 million in a business that Curlin was actually the co-owner of. And the plotting lawyer convinced another client to completely purchase a business for $2 million, not knowing it was actually owned by Curlin. In total, Curlin, Smooker, and Russo defrauded the winners out of roughly $107 million. The 3 of them all took guilty pleas in the case. Chirchiccio was sentenced to 5 years behind bars on Wednesday, and Russo and Smooker are awaiting their sentencing. Wow. It's amazing that somebody who's just won $1.5 billion that they're not a little more careful with who they hire, but this guy was obviously smart in targeting those people, finding a way to get to them.
About people that win the lotteries and that are broke, and how lottery ruined my life and stuff like that.
Well, this guy was running a mini Murdaugh scheme.
Actually,
he was getting a lot more from his marks, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot more efficient. It took Murdaugh a decade to steal that much money.
No doubt.
Well, we've got an update for you. Last week, we brought you the story of a Louisiana 28-year-old that enrolled in high school, Honville High School, and she's right outside New Orleans.
She graduated?
No.
Oh, that's not the update. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No. But the authorities in St. Charles Parish say the 28-year-old that was accused of using fake documents to enroll at that high school was not trying to hurt any kids. Sheriff Greg Champagne held a press conference Wednesday afternoon saying he wanted to ease parents' minds. The young lady caused no problems. She did nothing inappropriate with the other students, kept to herself, went home, didn't engage in any other criminal or inappropriate behavior. The 46-year-old Martha Alvarado and her 28-year-old daughter, Martha Serrano, were booked with 1 count each of injuring public records. The 2 created a fake passport and birth certificate from Honduras so Soriano could get a good education and better learn her English.
That's what I've said the other day.
The mother was in the country on an expired visa, and the daughter had documentation of being processed by the federal government coming into the U.S. in late fall of 2021. Officials were unable to comment on their most current immigration status, so St. Charles Parish Public Schools plan to audit all enrollment records of current students and evaluate from there. Officials have not gone into detail about the 28-year-old student's involvement in any clubs, athletics, or extra stuff. Both women were held on $30,000 bonds for their alleged crimes, and the sheriff said they made bond within a few hours of booking and were released from custody. Yeah. So essentially what they're saying is she was just trying to learn English.
Hey, and like I said the other day, that's what was happening. But it had been much cheaper for her to go to our sponsor, Rosetta Stone, and get 40% off by using the code
RLRC. I don't know if there is a code.
I think it's just today.
Yeah, it's slash today.
Today is the code. Maybe we can reach out to our friends at Rosetta Stone and help this lady out.
A 28-year-old. I mean,
what do y'all think of that though? I want to get y'all's opinion.
I think that she was getting a good education for free.
Was
28 years old.
She in the country legally?
She was on a visa.
The mom's visa was expired, but
visa.
I mean, I think it's human nature, and she's going to figure she can get away with it. She's getting an education. She's going to learn to speak habla English and get a good job.
It's the kind of thing you can't endorse, but you can be sympathetic to what
she still should use Rosetta Stone.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
that's the update on that.
Yeah, I figured that was going to come out. They didn't say anything about her enjoying the meals, and we talked about that, but whatever. Next story. Oh, this is messed up. Law enforcement officials believe they located the remains of a 4-year-old girl who was reported missing this week, even though she had most likely been dead for several weeks. Sequoia Samuels was reported missing on Thursday, June the 15th. The 4-year-old girl had a known medical condition, and she was last seen in the city's uptown neighborhood. Several law enforcement agencies assisted in the relentless search for Sequoia. On Thursday night, police found a body in close proximity to the apartment where Sequoia lived with her family. The body, however, had not been positively identified yet. Then on Friday, June 16th, officials announced they ended the search for Sequoia as investigators believe she is deceased. Memphis police arrested Sequoia's mother, Brittany Jackson, on charges of aggravated child neglect, abuse of a corpse, and false offense report. Jackson's boyfriend, Jalen Hobson, was arrested for false offense report. Jackson told police she last saw Sequoia on Wednesday evening when she put her to bed. Jackson reported said she fell asleep on the couch, then woke up to messages from family members saying her front door was open. When she checked with Sequoia, the girl was gone. Jackson later changed her story and said her boyfriend Hobson physically attacked Sequoia several times a few weeks prior. Sequoia became unresponsive following the attack, and she later died. Jackson maintained the corpse for several weeks, then dumped her body in a garbage container. Hobson denied involvement in the girl's death and allegedly claimed he last saw her on June 11th. Detectives, however, said that it was impossible due to the advanced state of decomposition of the human remains believed to be Samuel's. So basically, they kept that baby, dead body, hidden, the 4-year-old, for weeks. And then just threw it in the trash. Horrible. Everybody's looking for it.
And another story out of Tennessee, Memphis this time.
4-year-old, however she died, they need to go to murder value.
And I remember seeing a news flash across the screen when she was missing.
Right.
And they were looking for her.
And they're thinking,
sad news to hear that.
You got to work the case, and it ends up coming back on now.
Horrible.
Crazy.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gaba will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Build up to Black Friday with savings all month long at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to pick up holiday inflatables under $20. Don't wait to save, in-store or online now, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Okay, we're going to a place that I'm all too familiar with. Central Pennsylvania, State College, Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact, the home of the Nittany Lions of Penn State, where a prominent professor is facing criminal charges after he was allegedly caught on camera having sex with his dog in a public forest.
Nice. In the public forest.
On Tuesday, 64-year-old...
So we got to stop. Warning listeners, this is going to be an animal abuse story. One listener messaged in and said, will you please, I can handle anything like your wife.
Earmuffs, honey.
Anything,
Earmuffs.
but the animal abuse story is like, they can handle all the baby murders and everything else. But if a dog story comes up, oh my Lord, or a cat story. So this warning is about to be real. Go ahead.
On Tuesday, 64-year-old Temis Matsoukas was arraigned on charges of sexual intercourse with an animal cruelty, open lewdness, and indecent exposure. The investigation began 2 months ago when the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources installed a trail camera at Rothrock State Forest because someone had been stealing from a public restroom. Rangers reviewing that footage were not prepared for what they were about to see.
I guess not.
The images allegedly show Matsoukas wearing nothing but a ski mask, boots, socks, a watch, and a backpack. He is seen masturbating near a woman's restroom before engaging in a sexual act with a dog, according to police. Investigators obtained footage from other trail cameras dating back as far as 2014 that allegedly show someone matching Matsoukas' appearance walking through the woods naked. In May, rangers were able to link Matsoukas' vehicle to the public recreation area and obtained his license plate, leading to his identity. Police searched Matsoukas' home and found a backpack matching the one photographed by the trail camera, in addition to a ski mask matching the one photographed. Yeah. An iPad was also found that allegedly contained explicit videos from the trail. Matsoukas' dog, a collie, was found at his home and was consistent with the kind of dog seen in the trail camera footage. When investigators confronted Matsoukas, he allegedly pleaded with them to kill him. Quote, "I'm done. I'm dead. You don't understand. I do it to blow off steam, Matsoukas allegedly told the Rangers. The chemical engineering professor has taught at Penn State since 1991.
Wow.
32 years. He is now on leave and has been relieved of his duties. He's expected back in court on July 19th for a preliminary hearing.
I assume somebody's got custody of that collie.
I'm sure somebody's got custody of that collie, and I know a jail cell that needs to be occupied by an actual creep that that he could take and
you better believe if I'm booking this asshole in and I'm filling out his charge sheet, and I know the facts of the case, when I'm going to tell the jailers, and when he's being escorted down the hall to be put in the holding cell, they're going to tell everybody, this dude's in for screwing his dog.
It's how many times you hear about people. This guy was taught there for 32 years. Yeah. I mean, at some point along the line, you have to figure out that the guy's a whack. I don't understand how these people survive. But folks, if you're in love with your dog, but in a much more normal way than this freaking creep was, Matsoukas, there will come a day, unfortunately, mine was recently, where your pet's life will end. And when it does, our friends Roy, Kristen, and Kristen at Louisiana Pet Crematory in Broussard will be there to help you. They're located in Broussard, just outside of Lafayette, under a big American flag.
That's right. And it's the only place in Louisiana that can facilitate an autopsy. They can embalm, cremate, and even cremate your pet all under one roof.
Well, there's only one privately owned facility that offers autopsy services in the state, and that is Parish Forensics, and they've been serving Louisiana since 2007. Louisiana Funeral Services and Crematory, a full-service funeral home with 2 on-site crematories, serving families with aftercare needs, and fellow funeral homes with third-party embalming and cremation needs since 2015. Louisiana Pet Crematory is locally owned and operated by funeral home professionals. They provide families and veterinarians alike with dignified, private, and communal cremation services. With extensive urn and keepsake selection, Louisiana Pet Crematory has been serving South Louisiana with creative pet memorial merchandise since 2019. And if you are a resident of Louisiana, call them today to speak to someone about their services at 1-800-CREMATE, or it's 1-800-273-6283, or 1-800-FUNERAL, or 1-800-386-3725. Or you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram for the latest memorial products, offerings, and more. That's Parish Forensics, Louisiana Funeral Home and Crematory, and Louisiana Pet Crematory of Broussard, Louisiana. And their tagline, y'all, rest easy.
Rest easy. And in January, I lost my dog Deuce after 15 years and had him cremated and got the ashes back in an urn, and soon found out from Roy and Kristen that I could have done it for about half the price.
I'm going to say this real quick because I get requests all the time from people about their loved ones who are deceased, and the coroner never ordered autopsies, et cetera. This is the only place in the state of Louisiana that does private autopsy. So if you're concerned about your loved ones passing and you're not happy with your local law enforcement or your local
Coroner
process, the coroner and all that, and law enforcement would be involved on saying no, you can go to Parish Forensics and get a private autopsy. So, all right.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
It's a mile-high crowd.
Mile high.
Look, y'all, we got a good one today. The Justice Department has charged 2 United Airlines baggage handlers that they say participated in a years-long scheme to sell marijuana stolen out of people's bags.
Luggage.
That's right. Ramp Cargo agents Joel Dunn and Adrian Webb were charged with conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance for their part in a scheme that dates back to at least 2020 at, no surprise here, San Francisco International Airport. Dunn and Webb made as much as $10,000 a week selling marijuana They stole from departing passengers' checked luggage with the help of at least 3 other workers. A source close to the scheme told law enforcement they were paid $2,000 each shift to help steal cannabis from travelers' bags and load it into a 15 to 20 gallon black trash bags about twice each week. Dunn was the leader of the operation, and Webb was his right-hand man who gave directions when Dunn was not around. The amount of the weed was more consistent with distribution than personal use, obviously. Federal agents began investigating the pair after they were robbed at gunpoint in the airport's parking lot, and video surveillance footage from the day of the crime showed the pair moving black trash bags consistent with the marijuana theft scheme out of the airport to help other employees, with the help of other employees. Officials then intercepted 2 individuals performing a similar act with large plastic bags and boxes at the airport. The pair, who were often seen with Dunn and Webb, were found to be carrying 30 pounds of marijuana.
God, a lot of money.
Yeah, so if you have marijuana you're traveling with, you may not want to travel through San Francisco Airport.
You think this
at least during that time
is rare, but it's not. We used to arrest the UPS or FedEx drivers that they were in on the scheme. Somebody would pay them X amount of dollars to set their packages at whatever location, but they were in on. But this happens to be Mile High.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's actually legal there. Marijuana. So it'd be like reading through your bags and finding Snicker bars.
Yeah,
and stealing
it's legal
bags.
there, but not.
So that's your Mile High
You can now
crime.
take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
All right.
That voice.
Uh-oh. Sounds like it's time to get kinky.
Yep. It's time for kinky
Cheddar?
crimes.
Cheddar, mozzarella. What do we got?
Yep. It's kinky crimes for Thursday. This one, it's pretty kinky, right? So I guess people are going to do what they do. But deputies arrested a woman for allegedly exposing herself in public at a county jail in Punta Gorda, Florida. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office said Danielle Ferrero, 38, was at the jail's visitation center for a video call with an inmate with whom she spoke in a sexual manner for about an hour. However, the sheriff's office said Ferrero began touching herself inappropriately at the visitation building and lifted her shirt 3 separate times to show her chest to the inmate.
Let him free.
Right? Let him, you know what's going on there.
Let me see what you got going
Right?
on.
Ferrero was arrested on charges of exposure of sexual organs within a public place and violation of probation or community control. So she was already on paper. And she was arrested and locked up in the same jail, y'all, in Charlotte County, where the inmate she was visiting was located at.
No, I'm sure that happens
That happens.
more often than people think. But I mean, really, all she did was flash.
It's a conjugal visit.
the everything is recorded on those lines. Now they're video lines. Somebody was sitting there and watching. It was like, but you notice they didn't run out and stop her the first 3 times she did it.
Yeah.
They were watching until she concluded in the restaurant.
I mean, put her in jail.
It's a little in-person phone sex. She could have done that with with her iPhone from home. With
Dude
the
in
guy.
jail doesn't deserve to have phone sex.
Well, that was pretty. Is there a picture of her?
Yeah, there is actually.
So we'll put
a
there
picture
is.
of her on
Yeah,
social
we'll put a
media.
picture of her on social media so y'all can see and follow along.
Absolutely. And that's your kinky.
Pretty kinky. A little kinky blonde, it looks like.
I say bring back the Swiss cheese.
Watching blonde.
Swiss cheese is fire. It must be banjo time.
There it is.
Banjos. We got banjos in Oklahoma today, where a man is charged with stealing a truck and holding a passenger and a goat hostage.
Passenger
And a goat.
There you go.
Yeah, the goat was probably the more valuable of the hostages, I think. But this Oklahoma man was arrested after police say he stole a truck outside of an adult video store. He just happened to pick that location, I suppose, that contained a sleeping man and a goat. have to wonder about a goat that's hanging around in the parking lot of a
sex
adult
store.
video store, but I digress. They then went on a 130-mile road trip through 3 states. Brandon Kirby, age 40, was arrested on Tuesday after this strange ordeal. According to police, the 2 men parked the truck outside of an adult video store in Carthage, Missouri, early that morning. One of the men fell asleep in the passenger seat while the other went inside the store. First of all, 2 men early in the morning are parked outside of the adult video store. Okay. So that one guy just had
waiting on each other to go in.
They were on their way to the Waffle House, and one guy had to pick up a little something beforehand. Okay. So when the second man awoke, he said that Kirby was driving the truck and he had a gun pointed at his head. During the trip to Oklahoma, which went through Kansas, Kirby allegedly used methamphetamine. He threatened his unwilling passenger, and he pistol whipped him. The journey ended in Creek County, Oklahoma, after the man and his goat were released and called 911 to report the carjacking. The police caught up with Kirby shortly thereafter. Don't know why you released the man and the goat. Kirby was charged with kidnapping, pointing a firearm, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. No word yet on if kidnapping a goat or crossing state lines with that goat will bring additional charges.
It's got to
be a charge in there somewhere.
It's got to be a crime.
The release of them with that, I mean, the guy's an idiot. Okay.
Definitely a banjo worthy idiot.
Banjos.
Banjo time.
That's a dumb criminal.
You big dummy.
Yeah, so look, we got a surprise for y'all. We got a surprise.
Tell me.
Not another game.
Michael will not be on the show for the next couple of episodes.
Right.
He's going to have
Special surprise.
He's going in the field to do some RLRC daily special investigations.
I got to go serve some time.
He's going to go serve some time. That's right. So we're going to have everybody's favorite fill-in, I guess you could say, Kelly Jennings.
Yep.
Of Unspeakable True Crime podcast
KJ.
by Kelly Jennings.
Don't steal my yob.
And
we're going to make her the former international reporter, the dumb criminal.
That's it. KJ,
she's
fan favorite.
She's not going to want to put on any roles or anything like that. So
That's right. That's right. So she'll be here. So look for that.
But we're going to try to call
for Friday and Monday.
In the field day.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. We're going to call you on the air.
Both days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both days.
I'll have my Swiss cheese with me.
Yes.
So I'll give a
Oh,
report.
Lord have
I'm going
mercy.
to call your wife.
That's bad. That's
anyway,
bad. Hey, we thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Keep liking and sharing if you will. Oh, I got to do it again because we got such a positive, and I forgot this yesterday, y'all. I challenge y'all to go out and leave Real Life Real Crime Daily a review. Screenshot your review and post it in any of your social media. And by the end of July, we'll let it run a little bit. We're going to draw 3 winners now because we're having such a positive response. 3 winners.
3.
We're going to send y'all some swag. We appreciate y'all leaving the reviews. It helps the show. And
I don't have any swag.
Well, that's your fault. And we'll get you some swag, Mike.
I don't want the cock ring, Jim. I didn't
But anyway,
endorse doing the
y'all
cock ring.
keep doing that. And I mean, we got 15 or 20 in 2 days. But over the time, every time I mention it, we get another 15 to 20. So it helps us. And it shows that y'all are listening and y'all, get to blow on my Ago a lot because he sucks. And I'm just teasing. But anyway, thanks for doing that. And I love y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, real quick, Wesley Dale Morgan and Miss Barbara Blunt, call in the tip line. It's in all our social media. Overwhelming responses, and keep it coming. You never know what's going to happen.
And last thing, Bloody Angola.
Yes, Bloody Angola.
Part 3 of our series with Burl Kane.
Absolutely.
Dropped today. Check it out. Wow.
Right.
Probably the best series we've ever done, and we've done some good ones. So check that
Best
out.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt
Definitely
about
best
it.
numbers are growing, and check it out. Love y'all.
Absolutely. Any last thoughts, Michael? You gonna miss everybody?
He's going to be traveling.
I'm working on a new segment.
He's going to be traveling with Black Talon, the bulletproof.
What's the new segment?
The new segment is
how he gets abused?
the things I'm not allowed to report.
I knew that when you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Things I'm not allowed to
Well,
report.
that would defeat the whole point of because if you had it as a segment, you'd be reporting it.
No. It's the things I'm not allowed to report. Where I will briefly summarize the things I'm not allowed to report, but I won't actually report on those things I'm not allowed to report.
He was going to say, I want you fans coming out there and supporting me and try to sway us.
That would make for some interesting.
If Aga is nothing else, he's persistent.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give him that.
Yeah, he is definitely persistent.
It's
Y'all
like
just
a pit bull on a piece of hot dog or something.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
All
right. That'd be a heck of a music. We'd have to think of an intro for that segment.
Hey, you know what we got to do,
awesome.
though?
Van Halen.
They're getting a lot of requests for, and we'll look some up for the next couple shows, is They Stole What?
They Stole What? I've got some. I've got some in the tank, as they say. Right. In the can.
In the hole. In the bullpen.
There you go. So until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton. And Mike's trying to look some shit up.
No, I know what music we want for our next.
All right.
I was just looking up the music.
Don't do it. I know what you're going to play already.
You don't know what I'm going to
play.
play.
Yeah.
He's going to play some roll music.
You're going to play the music that Trump plays every time he comes out.
No.
Well, he comes out to a song. He was getting sued. The original.
He was doing the Springsteen, Born in the USA. He was doing that for a while until somebody finally told him that was an anti-American song.
Yeah, and then he was doing it was like, it wasn't the OJs, but it was a black group. Not the Temptations, but it was something. I had to think of it. But that guy's suing him now.
No, look, the hottest up-and-coming artist on the charts, Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
And her new song, Pound Town.
And you get permission for that.
I ain't heard that. Pound Town.
It's the fucking worst thing you've ever heard in your life. Oh. And I'm Mike Agovino.
Your host of Real Life Real Crime Daily. Peace.
Sha business.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Veterans Day sale, save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with any base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.